The value of the unknown box. Everyone is born holding a box. It's plain, gray, sealed shut. No one knows what's inside. Some say it's wealth. Some say it's nothing. But everyone is told the same thing. Don't open it until you've earned what's inside. So, people carry the box through childhood. Parents call it the future. Teachers call it your career. Banks call it your credit. Advertisements call it freedom. But no one ever opens it. Instead, they build around it. A boy places it on a high shelf. He studies, then works, then climbs. A girl buries it deep in the ground and builds a house on top of it. She thinks if her walls are strong enough, one day she can dig and finally reach it. Others decorate it. Some paint it with degrees. Others glue money to the sides. A few just lock it away and pretend it's not there. Years pass. People begin comparing boxes, not by what's inside, but by how they're carried, how tall the shelf is, how big the house, how shiny the paint. But eventually, one person, tired of the weight, opens theirs. Inside, they don't find gold. They don't find success. They find a single sheet of paper. It reads, "Value is not in what's inside. Value is in how long you believed something was." Confused, they close the box, and suddenly everything feels different. They look at their job, and it feels smaller. They look at their debt, and it feels quieter. They look at their dreams, and they realize none of them came from inside the box. They all came from trying to reach it, trying to deserve it. That's when the paradox appears. The box gave them purpose, but the box never had anything real in it. The value was not in its contents. The value was in the chase, in the effort, in the imagination, in the idea that one day something better waited. But that idea came with a cost, because while people were building shelves and houses and ladders and debts, they weren't living. They were preparing, always preparing, saving, investing, waiting for a moment that was never guaranteed. Some people die before they ever open the box. Some open it too late. Some never stop chasing it, even after it's empty. And yet, the paradox remains. Money is powerful, but only because we agree it is. We chase it, trade time for it, sacrifice health for it, all for something that has no meaning except the meaning we gave it. We treat it like the box, something sacred, something sealed, something that must be earned before it can be opened. But what if the value was never in the money at all? What if the box is just a mirror, showing you how much effort you're willing to give for something you'll never see until the end? Would you still chase it? Would you still build your life around it? Would you open it sooner? Would you walk away? The financial world teaches you that scarcity creates value, but the moment you hold it, the illusion fades. You spend your life wanting what you do not have. And once you have it, you find that the want was stronger than the possession. So you chase more, a bigger box, a higher shelf, a shinier house, and every time you return to the same feeling, the empty paper, the hollow reward. The paradox is this: money is meaningless until you don't have it. And once you do, you miss the meaning you thought it would bring. The box was never the treasure. You were. The more you save, the less you live. There was once a man who lived in a small house at the edge of the city. He was not poor nor rich. He earned enough to live and a little more. Each month, when his paycheck arrived, he took a small portion and placed it into a locked jar beneath the floorboards. He never opened the jar. He told himself, one day, it would be enough. Enough to stop working, enough to rest, enough to live. Time passed. He upgraded his job. His income grew. The jar became a box. The box became a vault. But the rule stayed the same. Never touch it. Not yet. He refused small pleasures. A walk in the rain because his shoes might wear out. A dinner with friends because the restaurant was too expensive. A vacation because time off was lost money. He smiled when he saved and frowned when he spent. And the people around him, they praised his discipline. They called him smart, responsible, future-minded. But inside, he felt emptier each year. He dreamed of beaches, but only saw budgets. He longed for comfort, but only counted digits. He imagined a life, but never lived one. He told himself, it's worth it. One day, I'll open the vault. One day, I'll take the money and live. But what he never realized was this. Every moment he saved was a moment he spent on waiting, and every sacrifice he made was a payment for a life that never arrived. This is the paradox of saving. The more you do it, the more it becomes a habit. The habit becomes fear, and fear becomes your compass. You no longer save to enjoy life later. You save to avoid the guilt of spending now. People confuse frugality with wisdom. But what if frugality is just fear in disguise? Fear that what you have will never be enough. Fear that you are not allowed to enjoy what you earned. So you hoard, you calculate, you shrink, until one day your body is tired, your back is bent, your energy is low, and the money, still untouched, sits in the vault. You reach for it. You want to travel, but the plane seat feels uncomfortable now. You want to dance, but your knees ache. You want to eat well, but your doctor limits your diet. And the cruel truth appears. You saved everything except the time when you could use it. This is the financial paradox. You save to live later, but later doesn't always come. And when it does, you're no longer the same person. You sacrificed today for a version of you that no longer exists. Yes, saving is smart, but saving is also spending. You spend energy, youth, joy on an invisible future, and often that future doesn't repay you. Not in health, not in peace, not in time. So the question becomes, when is enough enough? Because if you never define it, the vault never opens. And if it never opens, you were never saving. You were only hiding. Money is a tool, but we treat it like a god. We worship its growth. We fear its loss. And we build our lives around its accumulation. But a tool is meant to be used, held, worked, worn. A knife that never cuts is just a piece of metal, and money that never flows is just dead paper. So, next time you hold a coin, ask yourself, Is this a seed or is it a chain? Will this help you grow or just hold you still? The illusion of earning more. There is a belief so common, so deeply rooted, that almost no one questions it. It goes like this: if I earn more, I will be free. More money means more options. More options mean more freedom. And freedom is happiness. So people chase raises, promotions, side hustles. They sacrifice sleep, health, time with family, all for the hope that more money will one day buy them back everything they gave up. At first, it seems to work. A higher salary feels powerful. You buy better clothes, a nicer apartment, a car that turns heads. But then something strange happens. Your costs rise to meet your income. You eat at more expensive restaurants. You travel, but now expect luxury. You move to a better neighborhood, but with higher taxes, longer commutes, stricter appearances. You are earning more, but you are not keeping more, and you are not freer. In fact, you feel even more trapped because now your lifestyle has become a cage. You have more, but you need more. You have nicer things, but you fear losing them, and so you work harder to maintain it, to defend it, to protect the image. This is the treadmill, the rat race. But deeper than that, it's the illusion of growth. You are moving, but going nowhere. You are earning, but not becoming wealthier. You are progressing, but not arriving. You traded simple needs for complex wants. You used to desire shelter. Now you desire square footage, granite counters, a view. You used to eat to survive. Now you eat to impress. And slowly, the line between desire and necessity disappears. This is the paradox. The more you earn, the more expensive your identity becomes. People think financial freedom comes from earning more. But freedom has nothing to do with income. Freedom is the distance between what you make and what you need. If you make 1 million and need 1 million, you are broke. If you make 50,000 and need 20, you are free. But no one tells you that because the system doesn't reward freedom. It rewards consumption. It rewards debt. It rewards people who mistake movement for progress. So you become busy. You become tired. You become successful, but only in the eyes of others. Inside, you are quietly suffocating. You stare at your pay stub and wonder why it doesn't feel better. You scroll through bank apps like looking into mirrors, hoping for a reflection of joy. But the numbers mean nothing because the numbers are never enough. You tell yourself just a little more, one more raise, one more year. But that little more becomes forever, and you forget what you were chasing in the first place. So here's the question: are you earning more to live better? Or are you just spending more to feel worthy? Because if you don't control your wants, no amount of money will ever satisfy you. Desire expands faster than income, and happiness is not found in the upgrade. It's found in the awareness of what you truly need, not what you're told to want, not what impresses others, but what quietly brings peace. A walk in the park, a slow morning, a meal shared without phones. None of those require a raise. None demand a title. None depend on the market. They just need space. and time and attention, all of which are stolen by the chase for more. So the next time you get a raise, don't ask, "What can I buy now?" Ask instead, "What can I stop doing? What can I let go of? What can I give myself back?" Because the real wealth isn't found in earning more, it's found in needing less. The price of owning things. Imagine a man walks into a store. He sees a beautiful leather chair. It looks comfortable, luxurious, timeless. The salesman says, "This chair will make your home feel complete." And something clicks. The man sees himself in it, reading, resting, feeling successful. So he buys it. He brings it home. He places it near the window. And for a while, he does sit. But over time, the chair becomes just another object in the room. He forgets how much it cost. He rarely sits in it anymore. But now, he never opens the window. He's afraid the sunlight might fade the leather. He doesn't let his kids touch it. He cleans it often, though no one uses it. The chair has stopped bringing comfort. It only brings worry. And this is the paradox. He bought the chair to feel free. But now, the chair owns him. We think we own things. But every object we bring into our lives comes with invisible strings. They require care, storage, insurance, cleaning, protection, and most of all, attention. That camera you bought, now you need batteries, memory cards, a case, and you feel guilty when you don't use it. That fancy kitchen knife, you sharpen it, you hand wash it, you keep it out of the dishwasher. Things don't just cost money, they cost time, energy, mental space. The more you own, the more you divide yourself. One part of you is always managing your things. Where did I put that charger? Did I renew the subscription? Why is my closet full, but I wear nothing? It's not that buying is bad, but ownership is heavier than it seems. And the more you try to simplify your mind, the more your belongings whisper. Every object has a voice. It says, "Maintain me, use me, don't forget me." You don't notice it, but you feel it. A cluttered room becomes a cluttered mind. A full garage becomes a weight on your shoulders. A packed closet becomes a symbol of indecision. And often, we buy not out of need, but from emotion. To feel better, to feel safe, to feel in control. But those feelings fade, and the object remains. So we keep chasing that feeling. More gadgets, more tools, more furniture, more decorations, until we can no longer breathe in our own homes. And that's the paradox. We bought things to feel alive, but we buried ourselves in them. Minimalism is not about owning nothing. It's about owning with purpose. It's about choosing silence over noise, space over clutter, function over fantasy. The fewer things you have, the fewer things have you. And when you let go, you begin to notice something strange. You don't miss the objects. You miss the idea of what they promised. That the watch would make you feel successful. That the clothes would make you feel desirable. That the car would make you feel powerful. But those were never permanent feelings. They were flashes, short-lived, tied to appearances. Real comfort lives in lightness, not carrying too much, not guarding too much, not cleaning, storing, worrying. So here's a thought. What if the richest person isn't the one who has the most, but the one who needs the least? What if freedom begins not with a purchase, but with a letting go? Look around. How many things do you own that no longer serve you? How many pull at your time, your space, your peace? What if you set them free? And in doing so, set yourself free too. The cost of chasing security. There's a quiet fear that lives in almost everyone. It's the fear of not having enough. Enough money, enough savings, enough protection against the unknown. So we chase security. We hoard it. We build walls with our bank accounts. We say, once I have this much saved, I'll relax. Once I own this, I'll feel safe. Once I retire early, I'll finally live. And so, we postpone life in the name of protecting it. We miss birthdays, skip vacations, decline time with friends, all in service of a future we are too afraid to enjoy now. But here's the paradox. The more you try to control life, the more you live in fear of losing control. Security is a moving target. What feels like enough today will feel like not quite enough tomorrow. You save for a rainy day, then you save for a storm, then you save for a collapse, then you save for 5 generations. But you never feel done because fear doesn't shrink when fed. It grows. It tells you just a bit more. Then you can rest. But rest never comes. And in trying to protect your life, you accidentally trade it away. We admire the disciplined saver, the person who says no, who always chooses long-term gain over short-term joy. But we rarely ask what was lost along the way. Did they see the world? Did they laugh often? Did they dance when they had the chance? Or did they spend decades stacking coins in a vault, only to realize they can't buy back time? Money can buy many things, but not youth, not spontaneity, not presence. There is wisdom in saving, but saving without living is just another form of poverty. You may not be broke in dollars, but you are broke in experience. You have memories you never made, joys you never tasted, moments you postponed for a day that never arrived. So, here is the deeper truth. Security is not found in the size of your bank account. It's found in your ability to adapt. It's in knowing that even if things go wrong, you'll figure it out. You'll learn. You'll survive. You'll rebuild. Real peace doesn't come from control. It comes from trust dash in yourself, in life, in the present moment. Yes, prepare for the future, but don't sacrifice the only thing that's real now, because no matter how carefully you plan, the future will surprise you. And when it does, you'll wish you'd lived more when you had the chance. Don't wait for safety to begin your life. Begin now and let life unfold. Spend wisely, not just on things, but on experiences, on laughter, on love, because when the end comes, and it will dash, you won't ask, how much did I save? You'll ask, how much did I live? So tonight, let go of the fear. Let go of the endless preparation. You've done enough. You are enough. And life is not a problem to solve, but a mystery to experience. Right here, right now, not someday, not when you retire, But in this very breath, you don't need more to begin. You just need to stop waiting. The illusion of earning your worth. From a young age, you're told, work hard and you will be rewarded. Put in the effort and life will reflect your value. So you do. You work, you grind, you sacrifice, you stay late, you miss weekends, you say yes when you want to say no, and slowly you begin to tie your worth to your output. The more you produce, the more valuable you feel. But then something strange happens. You look around. You see people who work less and earn more, people who don't struggle and succeed. And the paradox reveals itself. Hard work doesn't always lead to wealth, and wealth doesn't always come from hard work. Some inherited it, some guessed right, some sold a dream, some just got lucky. And here you are, exhausted, wondering if effort was ever the answer. This is the trap. You begin to think that you must earn your right to rest, earn your joy, earn your weekends, earn your peace. But you don't. Your value is not in your labor. It is not in your output. It is not in the number of hours you can survive without breaking. You are not a machine. You are a person. Yet capitalism has a strange way of rewarding those who detach from humanity. The ones who see people as data. The ones who scale faster than they feel. The ones who can exploit others without losing sleep. And so, the paradox deepens. The more you try to prove your value through work, the more invisible you become to a system that does not care. Your loyalty to your job is not always returned. Your sacrifices are not always remembered. Your burnout is not always compensated. So why do we cling to the idea that we must suffer to be worthy? Why do we wait for permission to rest, for weekends to feel free, for vacations to feel human again? Because somewhere along the way, we started believing that value must be earned. That rest is only for the rich. That joy must be justified. But what if none of that is true? What if your worth was never tied to your wage? What if your rest was not a reward, but a right? What if your life didn't need to be maximized, optimized, or monetized? What if just being was enough? You wake up, you breathe, you laugh, you love. That is life, not your job title, not your LinkedIn page, not your hourly rate. Real value cannot be calculated. And the most valuable people in your life, your mother, your friend, your child, are not valuable because of their productivity. They matter because they exist, because they care, because they are. So why can't you see yourself the same way? Let go of the lie that your life must be justified through work. Let go of the guilt when you do nothing, because in those moments, when you are still, when you are quiet, when you are not striving, you are finally free. The world may try to measure you in output, but you do not have to accept the measurement. You are not your resume. You are not your paycheck. You are not a number on a screen. You are human. You are already enough. Let that be your wealth tonight. Not what you've done, not what you've earned, but simply that you are.